Love convinces you to trust in illusions. When I married Clara, I was certain I had found the one. I believed we shared something unshakable, something unlike those couples who drift apart over time. I told myself we were unique, stronger, genuine. And for years I clung to that belief. I wasn't the kind of man who fell in love quickly. I was cautious, guarded in what I gave. But Clara felt different. Or at least I thought she did. From the first moment we met, she drew me in effortlessly. Her laugh was contagious. Her presence turned ordinary days into something bright. She was exciting, unpredictable, and when her eyes met mine, I felt like I was the only man alive. So I gave her everything. She became my focus, my plans, my dreams. My world revolved entirely around her. I made sacrifices both big and small to see her happy. If she needed me, I was there. If she wanted something, I made it happen. And for the longest time, I believed she gave the same in return. But now, looking back, the truth is clear. I was never her priority. She only enjoyed being mine. Didn't collapse suddenly. That's what most people don't understand. Relationships don't always end with explosions. Sometimes they fade slowly, quietly, until one day you realize you're standing in the ruins of something you thought would last forever. The signs were always there. Clara never invested the way I did. I organized romantic dinners, surprise getaways, thoughtful gifts, and little reminders of my love. She'd smile and say, "That's nice." But she never reciprocated. If something else caught her interest, a party, a dinner, an event, she canceled our plans without hesitation. I excused it as her personality. She wasn't harsh. She wasn't openly unkind. She still kissed me goodbye each morning. She still said, "I love you." But love isn't words, it's action. And her actions revealed the truth I refused to see. The turning point wasn't dramatic. No shouting, no fight. Just a conversation that said it all. We were having dinner, just another Tuesday. I'd spent the whole day buried in meetings, chasing deadlines, running on coffee and willpower. Still, I was eager. The project I'd been working on for months was finally near completion, and I wanted to share it with Clara. I thought she'd be proud. I thought she'd listen. I was wrong. She sat across from me, idly pushing food on her plate, eyes glued to her phone. At first I kept talking, hoping she'd eventually look up. If this deal goes through, it could change everything. We're talking 6 figures in commission. It's the biggest contract I've ever handled. Silence. I glanced at her, still scrolling, face lit by the cold glow of the screen, fingers typing, lost in a world that didn't include me. "Clara," I said again. She hummed absent-mindedly. Then she chuckled. Not at me, not at my words, but at something on her phone. Smiling, she typed a reply, fully absorbed in a conversation that had nothing to do with us. I stopped mid-sentence. Seconds passed. She didn't even notice. I set my fork down, watching her. 10 seconds. 20. 30. Finally she looked up. "Oh, sorry. What were you saying?" Her voice was detached. I exhaled slowly. "You didn't hear a single word, did you?" She sighed, putting her phone aside. "Kevin, I was just checking something. You always blow things out of proportion." I stared at her. "Nothing. That's what you call it." She leaned back, crossing her arms. "Why does everything always have to revolve around you?" I let out a humorless laugh. "That's ironic, because for years everything's been about you." She rolled her eyes. "Here we go again. When was the last time you tried, Clara? The last time you planned something for us? Made me feel like I mattered?" She shook her head. "Kevin, not everything has to be so heavy. You act like I'm supposed to prove myself to you constantly." I waited, hoping she'd say something, anything to prove me wrong. Instead she shrugged. "Look," she said, her tone cold, flat. "You're just not my priority anymore." Silence. Heavy, suffocating silence. I nodded once, pushed my chair back. "Okay." That was all. No anger, no shouting, just clarity. I carried my plate to the sink, washed my hands, and went upstairs. She didn't follow, didn't call my name, didn't try to explain. That night, lying in bed beside her, I turned my head, searching for the last time she made me feel wanted. I couldn't remember. And that was enough. I knew what needed to be done. The next morning I woke before the alarm. Clara lay asleep beside me, her breathing calm, steady, like she didn't carry a single burden, like she hadn't spent years slowly pushing me further out of her world. I stayed still for a moment, staring at the ceiling, the weight of it all pressing down on me. Then I turned my head toward her. The woman I once thought would be my forever. The woman I had given everything to. She looked unchanged, but she wasn't. Or maybe she had always been the same, and I was just now seeing her clearly. Exhaled. No more waiting. No more hoping she'd wake one day and fight for us. I got up, dressed, and grabbed my keys like it was any other morning, like I was off to work, like I'd return that evening. But I wasn't coming back. Instead of heading to the office, I drove to a lawyer's building. "I want a divorce," I said. The words felt strange on my tongue, but at the same time they felt right. I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to plead. I wasn't going to ask her to change. I was just going to leave. We went through the legal process. Assets, the house, the accounts. I made it clear I wouldn't be cheated. By the time I left, the paperwork was already in motion. I wasn't looking back. When I returned that afternoon, the house was silent. Clara wasn't home, likely out with friends sipping coffee, laughing, completely unaware that everything was about to shift. I didn't rush. I went to the closet, pulled out a suitcase, and started packing. Shirt by shirt, book by book, every trace of me disappeared. There was no anger in my movements, no sorrow, only finality. When I zipped the last bag, the house already felt emptier, as if I had never belonged there. In the kitchen, I slid my wedding ring off my finger and set it on the counter. The metallic sound rang louder than it should have. I grabbed a pen and paper, writing a single line. "If I am not your priority, then you are no longer mine." I placed it beside the ring, took one last look around and walked out. No door slam. No glance back. Just gone. That night I checked into a hotel, expecting guilt, sadness, maybe regret. Instead I felt relief. Clara, though, unraveled. My phone lit up with calls, texts. "Kevin, how could you? You're leaving me. Are you insane? You think you can walk away from me? I'll ruin you." I didn't respond. 2 days later, she was served with the papers. That's when the battle began. First she played the victim. Friends called asking what had happened. "You blindsided her," Jake told me. I gave a humorless laugh. Blindsided. She claimed I abandoned her out of nowhere. That was Clara twisting the truth. But I didn't defend myself. I didn't need to. When sympathy failed, threats followed. Her messages grew sharper, crueler. "You'll regret this. I'll take everything from you. You won't walk away clean." She tried. She demanded half my savings, the house, even my car. But she had underestimated me. My lawyer had secured everything before I left. My accounts were safe. My assets protected. She had nothing to bargain with. If she wanted the house, I told my lawyer, she'd have to buy me out. She couldn't. She never could. While the case dragged on, I rebuilt my life. I found a new apartment. Not extravagant, but mine. A space free of memories of someone who made me feel unimportant. I went back to the gym, started traveling, reconnected with old friends I had lost while bending my life around Clara. Then one evening I met Maria. Not a cinematic moment. No sparks, no dramatic thunderclap. Just a simple meeting. At a coffee shop we exchanged words, and it clicked. Felt easy. She wasn't playing games, wasn't making me chase her, wasn't leaving me uncertain. She was genuine. We moved slowly. I wasn't ready to dive into something serious, and she respected that. But over time it grew deeper. Unlike Clara, Maria showed up. When I spoke, she listened. When I made plans, she looked forward to them. When I was exhausted, she checked in just because she cared. For the first time, I wasn't someone's option. I was their choice. Months passed. The divorce ended. Clara had fought viciously, convinced she could break me. But when the judge ruled in my favor, When she realized she wasn't keeping the house, wasn't touching my savings, walking away with far less than she expected. I saw it. Panic, desperation. She had spent months trying to destroy me, but only wrecked herself. Outside the courthouse, sunlight hit my face. And there stood Maria. She met my eyes, smiling. I wrapped an arm around her waist. "Done?" she asked softly. "Done," I said. She kissed me, gentle but sure. And that's when Clara broke. "You bastard!" Her scream cut through the air. Before I could react, she lunged. Her face twisted in rage, eyes locked on Maria. She yanked her by the hair. "Get away from my husband." Security pulled her back within seconds, but she fought wildly. Maria stumbled, startled. I stepped in front of her, shielding her. Clara thrashed, screaming, "You don't get to replace me. After everything I did for you." I stood calm. "We're done, Clara," I said, voice steady. "Move on." Her breath caught. And in that moment, fear flickered in her eyes. She knew I wasn't coming back. She had lost. Months rolled by. Clara faded into the past like a memory that no longer mattered. Maria moved in. Not rushed, just natural. She fit into my life in ways Clara never had. No tension, no eggshells, no constant need to earn love. It was peaceful. For the first time in years, I wasn't waiting for it all to collapse. As for Clara, I heard bits and pieces. She dated, but nothing lasted. The friends she once prioritized had moved on. The house she fought for, we sold it. She walked away with far less than she had imagined. I should have felt pity. I didn't. She had made her choices. Now she was living with them. One night, as I lay in bed, Maria beside me, my phone buzzed. First I ignored it. Then it buzzed again. I reached for it, half asleep. A single message from Clara. "I was stupid. Sorry. Please take me back." No anger, no games. Just desperation. I read it twice. Then deleted it without reply. No reaction. No second thought. Because some people don't deserve a second chance. And I had finally found the happiness I deserved.